And we're back with our Dota 2 semifinals here at the IESF 2019 Dota tournament. You know, it's really been exciting to see us come back from our Swiss phase, which is just best of one, into these series. We have the opportunity for comebacks like we just saw. Aqua, what happened in that game 2?
That was a reverse snowball. I mean, S4, we, in the drafting phase, we had a couple of questionable picks, I'd say. I mean, very interesting, but experimental picks. Brewmaster, definitely a good pick. And in the hands of S4 as well.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean,
at the same time, I'd say there were better picks.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Brewmaster before. Obviously, S4, a consummate expert at just about everything. But, I mean, especially the purpose that the Brewmaster served in that game never really kind of got off the ground. And when you look at the other side, we have our first sighting of Abaddon, which really came in a big way. And, I mean, let's not forget, Tiny just, one-shotting everybody. I was just like, okay, well, that's doing pretty well. And the secret sauce, Templar Assassin, probably hitting that ban phase again.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is there was a chance for the Team Sweden to take away the Templar Assassin. That it was really ripe for taking. Viper was banned out, Huskar was banned out. All the typical counters were out, but they instead to let it pass to the Team Philippines, and they took Templar Assassin. Look what happened.
Yeah, that's true. So we've got an undefeated TA pick this tournament. At least in games that we've seen.
Yes.
But pretty good. I'm thinking back to the draft phase that we're getting into here in just a second. Is that, I mean, we have confusing bans for me, like what is it, Timbersaw. I get that it's scary and stuff, but is it scarier than TA? I don't know.
I mean, it's about time we let Timbersaw go for now.
I mean, we also have persistent Huskar bans that's just never ever getting through. I'm like, well, I can understand it as a niche pick, but if it's a staple of your ban every single game, you can't be afraid of that pick in 100% of games that you play. You got to kind of read the series, and that's why best of threes are so much more interesting.
Yeah, there could have been more. We know that they're tailoring their bans to each other, but at the same time, we are seeing some heroes dominate regardless of the situations. So we want them to be a bit more focused on the third game, given that this is the ultimate final showdown at this point.
Well, semi-ultimate final showdown.
Well, yeah, between these two teams.
They're
never going to meet again after this match.
Well, hey, what about the future, man? What if they become best friends and they go on trips together? Okay, probably not.
Yes, well,
but as far as this tournament's concerned, you're right. The semifinals is about to be over with one of these teams advancing on to the grand finals, obviously. I think it's 7.5 million won on the line for just first place. Obviously goes down after that. But more than that, both of these teams also have players in, I believe, the top 8 and top 4, respectively, of the other esports titles here at IESF. And there's a $10,000 prize for the country that competes at the highest level overall, so that places most highly. So a lot on the line for these squads and for their countries overall. Let's get into our draft for the final game of this semifinal matchup between the Philippines up top and the Swedish roster down below.
One thing that's a bit, that's also part of the meta, but based on their gaming histories, I would like to see banned out is Doom. So I understand if Team Philippines keeps banning out the Doom bringer, but there's Razor and Venoban. These are the promised first bans from these two teams.
Yeah, never going to see a Venomancer. Probably never going to see a Viper again. Those are just really iconic. There's that Doom ban, exactly
Doom
like you said.
But I would like to see more of a Tiny Puck or even a Chen ban coming out instead of, Huskar or Timbersaw.
Yeah, those are the confusing ones to me. I mean, I get that you're going to ban maybe Io. Okay, well, we saw what happens when you let Io Tiny through, right? That's not going to be a good one. Maybe even just the Tiny ban, since that was even still super impactful last game.
Long time ago, when you ban out Io Tiny, you could have just done Io and no one was going to use Tiny without Io. But right now, I feel that you have to ban both out, and there's Timbersaw ban again. So Team Sweden really hates Timbersaw. I guess it's a bit of a protected trees.
Yeah, deforestation's a big problem all around the world, man. We've got to keep that carbon dioxide transfer going. No timber saws in our games. They're environmentally conscious in Sweden. And also when they play Dota, too.
Yes,
10
no more
seconds
carbon
remaining.
footprints. But will they
they're
pick
worried
Trian's
about.
Protector?
5
I was gonna say, yeah,
seconds
Tran
remaining.
Protector is like the go-to pick. Then you gotta get it. Also, like no Bat Rider either. They banned that because you're spilling oil everywhere.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like no way,
Okay.
man.
No
Gotta-
oil spill, and it's also forest fire.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no way. Memes aside, it is still kind of interesting to see such consistency on such interesting picks. I'm like, where's the Huskar ban? It's coming in 20 seconds.
We have to see. I mean, there's IO ban, so Doom, Razor, IO.
10
Pretty
seconds
typical
remaining.
bans. Doom's pretty strong, even stronger in the first game, so
5 seconds
just gotta
remaining.
get it away from them. But Team
Radiant
Sweden,
team pick.
Trian, also, they're kind of split in their decisions. They want to protect the trees, but at the same time, they don't want the trees.
Well, sometimes banning the trees is the only way to protect them. What happens when we cut down all the trees, put them in museums, and then they'll never die, right?
So we put trees in the zoo. Wait, no, there was a name for that.
It's a tree zoo. It's called a
Tree zoo.
national forest. A tree zoo. Yeah, man, that's where I'm
10
going.
seconds
It's been a
remaining.
long day of Dota so far, guys. We're making up for yesterday. And as far as the ban
5
phase goes,
seconds
I'm still a little bit interested. But hey, I mean, there's not going to
Dire
be.
team
I guess this time we get to see a Huskar come through, right? Right?
Yep, Husker
Right.
still left unbanned, but might be banned on the second phase, or they might just leave out Viper and Huskar, just as more of an inhibitor to the Templar Assassin.
Okay, I can see that.
So there's
Um,
first pick Chen.
Yeah, that's exactly the same as the last one. I wouldn't say that like, Chen was like
10
the
seconds remaining.
key win or loss condition in game one, but I mean it's still something that
5 seconds
Philippines
remaining.
picks as a comfort pick. Certainly, super strong.
Also, he makes a lot of movements,
Dire
like
team
allies tipping in and out,
Mhm.
very smooth, which is really important for the outpost fight. Like usually, heroes, even the core or like the carry or mid heroes, would save their TP scrolls towards the like the 40 minutes, 90 minutes, like 1 minute mark to the
Okay.
5 minute mark. But with Chen, you can be a bit more
Radiant
liberal.
team
You can
pick.
use your TP, farm elsewhere, and Chen will just summon you back.
All right, now that's a weird one. We haven't seen Witch Doctor at all. I mean, Tusk has shown up occasionally, but what do you think they're going for there, the Witch Doctor pick?
Team Sweden, I think their approach for across the series is that they want to secure really strong early game, just so that they can but a
10
bit more
seconds
aggressive than the
remaining.
enemy, and stop their snowballing. So which
5
when it
seconds
works,
remaining.
they snowball instead of the Team Philippines. But when it doesn't work, like we've seen on the second game,
Radiant
they get
team
snowballed
back.
instead.
Well, there's the Tiny coming through. Certainly a pick that worked well for the Philippines in the last game. But my question is, where is TA?
Well, we might actually see TA banned this time, but see, this is one of the things about the drafting order. Like a hero like a Witch Doctor is not gonna get banned, probably not gonna get stolen either. So if
10
they really
seconds
wanted to
remaining.
use Tusk and Witch Doctor, it could have been like Tusk pick and a Tiny pick, and the
5
Witch Doctor
seconds
can come at
remaining.
like third or fourth pick. But they picking in this order indicates that Team Sweden just doesn't really want to use Tiny.
Dire team back.
I
At
think
all?
it also tells us that they want to save actually meaningful picks for much later on in their draft. So instead of saving a pick that is non-contested like the Witch Doctor for later, they want those later picks to be reactionary and even maybe more impactful, wanting to force Philippines to go deeper in their drafts so that they then won't have to. They'll have the element of surprise on their side.
10 seconds.
Yeah, there's always a unexpected pick that factor going into
5
this.
seconds
But at the same time, we've seen that how strong Tiny could be.
Radiant team
So
back.
either ban it out or just pick it yourself and take the easier way out in this
Team
meta.
back.
Sometimes you gotta work with the meta.
Yeah.
You can try to beat it, but you gotta work with it as well. So Husker banned out and immediate TA ban right there.
Okay, I mean, that makes a lot more sense. TA, Huskar, both taken out of here, and that makes this game actually a little bit more interesting because, I mean, for Philippines, we already know how strong Tiny is going to get, but what is the carry coming out of Sweden? Because they've been the
10
big
seconds
TA
remaining.
apologists, at least for game number one, and now they've got to go to a
5
different
seconds remaining.
carry this time around.
Yeah, and Cheshi hasn't shown, I guess, his salt outside of TA performance just yet. So we do want to see a bit more variety coming from this Swedish mid laner.
Meatballs?
Perhaps. We haven't seen Invoker just yet.
Oh, that's true. I mean, Invoker's one of those like consummate. I can actually keep 25 spells in my head and graduate from Harvard at the same time. Like, I certainly would be a mid pick that would, I guess, remind me a lot of Chessie's pool. Look at the Alk ban. This is the second time we've seen that also this series.
Team Sweden's really afraid of all these pocket picks that Southeast Asian teams
Yeah.
can use, but at the same time, I think they're a bit too tunnel visioned into them.
Darkseer. Okay.
This is definitely a Naga pick coming in, but I think either just let it through or steal Naga Siren, because Naga Siren isn't banned. Given the Darkshear's new, well, I mean, not new, but returned ability to vacuum invulnerable units or sleeping units,
10
it's
seconds
it makes for a good combo. So maybe
5 seconds
they'd
remaining.
be aware of it, or just keep it in mind and just let them use it, play around it, or steal the Naga Siren and send Tiny elsewhere. Since Tiny can also go as a 4 position or like mid, off lane, not just the carry position anymore.
Yeah, it's a really cool interaction, and we've seen Naga banned almost every game, but I mean, because it's a pick coming up next, not a ban, you kind of gotta think about that ahead of time. So grabbing the Naga would be super reactionary, and sometimes it sucks to kind of be outdrafted and see that coming, right? But it's better to let the Naga through than it is to screw up your own comp.
Yep, definitely true. And they're kind of deciding: do we keep doing what we plan to do, or do we start adjusting to the enemy? So Team Sweden and Team Philippines, I think draft-wise, Philippines has been a bit more adjusting, a bit more reactionary, as you say. And Team Sweden has been banning out any pocket picks they might deem dangerous, but other than that, they've been picking what they want to pick for a while.
I mean, Naga is the kind of hero that really stops you from playing against it. It's just a literal stop or pause button on the game and can let you set up really cool fights like with the Darkseer, being able to vacuum everybody together. But I mean, it also can be a little bit more than that, especially if the game falls out of control early on. Kunkka will be the pick, and that will send most likely Naga over to Sweden.
Yes, Konka is pretty good mid pick, and they are trying to assert some early ganks. A lot more targeted disables coming out from the mid laner, and
10
even if
seconds
Darkseer runs
remaining.
away or have an ally run away with the surge, you can just X mark
5
the
seconds
spot,
remaining.
back them in. So Team Sweden in a bit of a rut. They're just contemplating: do we really want to use this combo? And if they do, what do they have as a follow-up? They have Naga Sleep and then Vacuum into what would be the question?
You're right. There's going to need to be some, a big bomb to drop on top of that, right? I mean, it could just go right back to Gyro, I guess.
Gyro's pretty good.
Radiant
There's always
team
a
pick.
black hole as well. And Bristleback coming out, so
Ooh.
they actually turn away from that team fight combo.
Yeah.
So you have offlane Darkshire, Bristleback as either safe lane carry or even mid against Kunkka.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, where are we getting the goose stacks on? Like, I mean, I guess against Tiny, that's always an option, but
10
probably
seconds
not going to be
remaining.
finding the same lane.
But I mean,
5
Team Sweden
seconds
gets a
remaining.
really tanky
Dire
frontliner
team
who can also DPS and slow a lot. There's Oracle, so direct counter to the Darkshire. A good pick. I mean, Oracle's really niche pick, but when there's enemy Darkshire, it's a go-to pick. You just put a Fortune's End on Darkshire.
Yeah, really, I think aptly named there. Final bans coming through here, and not a lot of reserve
10
time left
seconds
for
remaining.
Philippines. So they're going to have to really react to this ban and pick and then
5
hold on.
seconds remaining.
So an offlaner ban from the
Radiant
Sweden.
team
They just
back.
ban out Slark just in case Tiny goes offlane, and they have to deal with Slark, who can do pretty well against Darkshire, and Bristleback can also opt to go to the Shiver Edge if it chooses to do so against
Mhm.
Bristleback. And Team Philippines, they gotta ban out this mid laner. Their mid laner is already chosen, so they gotta
10
ban
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
one counter.
There's a little bit less, flexibility here for our
seconds remaining.
Philippine roster, but there's so many choices, so little time. They're definitely running out of that reserve time, like I said earlier.
Tiny Konka. I mean, I still prefer Tiny as a carry, so I'm expecting an offlaner to come out from the Team Philippines, but what did they ban? There is a lot of mid laner choices left. Against Konka, I mean, heroes like Dragon Knight is also good. I mentioned him a lot, but I
I
don't
was
think
gonna
we...
say, as far as if you're a new Dota player, probably you're like, hey, this Dragon Knight, I really like playing this guy. He's easy. I just click on him. It's cool. But especially at the higher level, I mean, I feel like it fits in as a niche, but a lot of times if there's a more specific role, DK is a little bit generalized.
Yeah, I mean, he gained the cool Aghanim's buff, but even then, not much during the actual normal early to mid game
Right.
advantage. And they're expecting Prospect mid, banning out the Void. They always ban out the Void anyways, I guess.
10 seconds
So their last pick,
Dire team pick.
Legion Commander.
Okay. I mean, we've already seen how well they used Legion CC earlier on, so wait, was it Thailand? It was Thailand.
Thailand who used it against Team Philippines. And so far, the DOTA, the offlaner for the Team Philippines, has been a bit averse in using more
10
like
seconds
any sort of
remaining.
offensive offlaner. They
Mhm.
he used Venomancer
5
once, and then
seconds
used like
remaining.
Omni Knight, Abaddon, all the tanky heroes, all the I take everything for the team kind of hero. But now he has a Legion Commander, so he has to initiate a bit. And there's a lot of cats on Team Philippines this time. Oracle has a limited cats, but Tiny, Konka, Legion Commander all can start to fight, initiate the fight on their own.
Especially Konka. I mean, we've already seen what they can do with that, so very, very exciting there. Minute left to find out the final addition to this Swedish roster. We were a little bit lackluster on the Brewmaster in the last game, but this time it appears a little bit more solid Ursa.
So Legion Commander is either gonna go jungle or die a lot, maybe.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's certainly a surprise pick, especially when you see so many of these pocket picks banned, like Huskar, like Timbersaw, like all this stuff. And then all of a sudden we see our first Ursa to round out the Swedish lineup. What is that supposed to do that might catch Philippines off guard?
I mean, Ursa is really strong pick right now, but at the same time, Ursa and Bristleback can both go really well against any cores during the laning phase from the Team Philippines side. So if the Ursa chooses to contest Tiny's lane, Tiny is gonna have to fight for the farm. If Ursa goes mid lane, now Konka can maybe harass each other a lot, but still, Ursa once it gains some levels, it becomes really hard for Konka to actually come in without getting some Fury swipes on it. And same for Legion Commander. Most likely, it will be Legion versus Ursa. In any case, Legion either sits back, soaks EXP, or goes jungle.
Yeah, well, it goes jungle as opposed to dying over and over again. Well,
Yes.
our final game of the semifinals is ready. Let's get into it. It's Philippines down on the Radiant side with Sweden coming from up top on the Dire.
So mid Konka and carry Tiny. And offlane Legion, that's not much of a surprise, but how will Sweden lane their heroes is the real question. So EGM on the support, Ziv on the support, Charlie carry Bristleback. So each other mid, it's probably mid Ursa and offlane Darkshire. Yep, the color seems to be that way. So EGM waiting on the top, tri-laning top to secure the runes. After the rune fight, they might just TP down a support to the
30
offlane.
seconds to battle.
But Charlie showing alone. Mishiram waiting in the back, but Legion Commander is perfectly well
Dead.
trapped.
Perfectly dead.
Yep. Instead of taking the bristle, the spike, he just takes
Goo.
nasal goo, which is really good at level 1 rune fight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe not the best one to start with, but certainly when you're tri-laning up there, that's where you're putting like all the eggs in your level 1 basket. So Ziv gets to the kill, gets the rune, and that is 1, 2. Okay, it's actually 2 to 2. Yeah. But certainly that first blood, kind of a reprisal of game number 1, where I think it was S4 Doom that got first blood there for Sweden.
That really propelled Doom.
Yeah.
So early farm. Cheshi mid Ursa against Konka. So, I mean, Konka with proper positioning can kind of not get hit by the Fury swipes. Cheshi body blocking pretty well. But at this moment, the Tidebringer damage is a bit more considerable.
Yeah, and you don't want to fight in the wave for sure. EGM chasing out Mashram, and keep an eye up on this top pseudo tri-lane, at least for what we were seeing. Goo starting to lay up. Minor stun comes through, stacking up 3, 4, 5. Oh.
Could have been nice for Legion Commander to maybe save skill point at level 1 and go for some other choices. Right now, it's he's really focused on the typical laning phase, which Team Sweden is not allowing the Legion Commander to have. So press the attack would have been nice, but you know that could also be too defensive as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, right? Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. There's my analysis. Overall, neither game has been really decided from game number from level 1. Even game number 1, which kind of got S4's Doom off to a good start. There were more. Wow, already a courier death. There were more systemic issues going on there. But man, EGM is just being a jerk here, really controlling that upper jungle super well.
I mean, it's what Tusk can do really well. Like level 1 pressure right onto the Chen. While when the Chen is the one who wants to apply pressure. So Sweden wins that, a bit of a support Rush War, even killing the... I mean, it's still level 1 courier, but still killing the courier. And Chesh is getting driven away from the Tidebringer. Can't really find that level to
One more
harass him, but there's a lot of... Oh, wait, that was...
Those dodges. What? Okay, that's a little bit of justice right there, but still kind of far from home.
I mean, Legion Commander, by dying here, he kind of pulled the enemy waves. Not as much as he wants, but it will definitely push the lane towards the Radiant offlane. So Legion can get at least some semblance of EXP. Juking it out, but they know where he is.
Yeah, it's not really a big mystery there.
A lot of damage, and even neutrals kind of chipping in. But
I mean, you run faster when you run downstairs, right?
Gravity.
Yeah, that's the physics hard at work. I'm the caster version of Isaac Newton. I figured it out.
We finally got it. The secret of Dota.
Just run downhill.
Yeah, just run downhill.
No, but a great escape. He was really playing, what do you call this, proactive Dota, getting up in there. I would say that potentially a little bit too far. Oh, stick charge.
Nice use of magic stick. Save him from the sudden death. Chesh is getting driven away, but I don't think they...
Yeah, what? Okay, come on. You knew that was going to happen.
Well, I mean, maybe he just wanted to heal. You know, you die, go home. You know.
I mean, Darkslayer did die too there, so...
good exchange.
We have a killing spree Witch Doctor at 3 minutes into the game. Working as intended? I mean, clearly that's why they picked the WD up first, right?
Yeah, I mean, Witch Doctor really applying the lane pressure, but at the same time, Legion Commander dying with Darkslayer is still detrimental to Legion Commander. Other than the two more death he has, Legion Commander is someone who needs an item to function, while Darkslayer really can do with levels if the lane goes really bad and all.
That is actually a good point.
So jungling, but supports know about it already. Stalking even out of the...
Can't go back through there, try to clear out the trees. Zibby there right there with a hard CC. Nowhere for him to run. He's going to get back to the tower, but are they going to go in for the dive? Egypt starting to take that damage. A bit of a whiff there.
even
Can't find the
spending
catch.
that salve to walk out safely. Witch Doctor has a lot of resource left.
I mean, they invested a lot into that. Didn't actually get that much. 2 for 1 and the final one. Okay, 2 for 2 split on the runes.
Dire's courier.
And then Esports Courier dies. Will he die as well? Maybe.
Radiant's bottom
Maybe
tower is under
a
attack.
bit more patience, maybe? I don't know. But,
Okay.
you know, S4 is pretty tanky as a Darkshare.
Mm-hmm.
2 seconds left on that toss is a bit regrettable, but it's okay. Driving out Darkshare again, killing the Courier itself is already a big success. And the casual Ogre Frostmate are dying.
I mean, what is that doing there?
It was Chen's script, just going between safe and off. Offlane and mid
Oh, ew, poor
lane.
ew.
Armor.
I
Definitely
mean,
dead.
yeah, I think this is going to be kind of the story of our early game, is you finding new and interesting ways to die. So, I mean,
4 kills on Witch Doctor.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's ideally not where you like to stack your gold, right? But I mean, still, ew. Like, what is he doing?
I mean, that's the only thing he can do. There isn't much Legion Commander can do when enemy supports are stalking you all the way to the jungle, but at least he's
Yeah.
holding them in the offlane. You see
Well,
that
you did say that he was
Yeah.
either going to go off or die a lot. So,
And Charlie coming in with the huge wave.
one.
Radiant's top
Okay, I thought we were
tower
going
is
deeply
under
for that.
attack.
So Legion successfully just pulls the wave, stays down, dewarding the sentry ward from the chemo. And even the Oracle now rotates top to help
Mhm.
him out. Because, I mean, Chen's still pretty underleveled. Level 2 at 7 minutes in. Nico's mid, just farming evenly against Ursa. Ursa probably gonna hit his timing a bit earlier than Kunkka, just given that Kunkka needs a lot of levels and a bit of item to be functional, while Ursa just really needs like one early item. And then Tiny just farming to be that, you know, force to be reckoned with, as always.
Oh yeah, I mean, Tiny's a staple of the Filipino roster at this point. I love how Chemo is now up here towards the top lane just to try to desperately keep you alive through all of this. It's yeah, it's just been a struggle up there. But in the meantime, while all this effort, all this focus has been top lane, Chemo, whoever you've got to try to desperately keep alive. Oh my God, Kunkka coming in a
Good
big
rebuttal.
way. Nico cleaves onto Charlie. I mean, it's a bristleback. You're attacking from the back, so probably not going to follow through for that kill, but a big boat. Nico.
I think Team Sweden is going to be satisfied with that exchange because it wasn't Witch Doctor who died. If it was Witch Doctor and Tusk who gave death to the Kunkka, Kunkka would have gotten a huge gold
Dire's
boost
bottom
right there.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's true. Still not totally out of control. Doctor staying safe for now, but I mean, still signs of life from our Filipino roster. So at least we know that their comp is working as intended. X marks the spot. Moving on in. Torrent is kind as always.
I mean, I'd even say that Team Philippines is on a better end of the bargain right now.
Ooh.
S4
What are we
juking it
doing
out.
here?
Where's Fortune's End?
I mean, it's
Not here.
Stark's here, so like, I don't know, that engagement was almost completely pointless. But the idea is, just getting in, getting out, getting that information down. Once again.
But
bit of
Nico
trouble.
TP
Dire's bottom tower is
and
under
the drives him
attack.
back. Nico going in, but there's EGM waiting on the top.
Yeah, they know it's not going to overextend.
Radiant's
through that.
courier has been killed.
And the Chemo's Warrior goes down.
I didn't exactly see where that was, but Chemo himself is in a little bit of trouble. Jesse going for it.
Oh, body block from the Chen creep. That
Oh.
was really well done.
Yeah, this is, on paper, maybe you look at Chen, you're like, okay, he's good. Is he that good? It's like, yes, there's so many options. Oh my God.
That was close, but Legion Commander survives.
Yeah, he's out of
And
there. Another X
Chesh's
mark.
ultimate is
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
on cooldown, but EGM's here to help him out. Just
He
coming
might
in.
have bit off a little bit more. You get Chupo coming in. stun in there, and yeah, he is out of town. Jesse even gets locked up there. The last second, Chemo in for the double.
S4 now kind of farming into the creep wave since all the supports are on the other side. 10-minute outpost combat, but Team Philippines is a bit more focused on fighting the mid lane.
Yep, Xbox the spot again. This is the classic catch that Philippines ran earlier on today. Looks like we're going back in the duel. Inconsequential, never mind.
It was just to save the Oracle. It's
Right.
like, at this point, Legion Commander is like, well, I have like 4 deaths already, so I just die here.
Might as well.
Yeah. And the Radiant took the outpost on the right side. Mushiram, Chris blocked him out, but this Chen is pretty much dead. TP coming in, but
Yeah, no way to get out of there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think he used TP intentionally just to pull that snowball away from EGM.
Really? Okay, I guess that makes sense. But I mean, even still, Chemo is like, we're just giving our supports all the kills.
Yeah, I mean, Oracle is really strong from level 5 to level 7, given his Purifying Flames hitting its peak there. So, I mean, giving Oracle a lot of kills at this point is never a bad idea, so that he can maybe grab one item before going to the support duty.
Yeah, and even though it looks rough for Witch Doctor be getting kill after
Radiant's
kill after
bottom
kill, I
tower
mean,
is under
you know, it's Witch
attack.
Doctor. It's not like that's going to make him super scary.
Yeah, but, you know, having supports pick up early items really help you as a team. And Tiny is still very quiet on the safe lane, just farming away. S4 kind of recovering his farm as well. And Chesh's kind of looking for opening, but
Dire's top tower is
yeah,
under
he's gotta farm. Getting drums nerfed a bit, but it's okay. Charlie caught alone.
I mean, he's bristleback, so not necessarily something you want to just like go in and fight straight up. It's still just making sure to control it.
Step lively now.
Yeah, Bristleback's really tanky right now. Palace farming, but there's a Tusk coming in from the back.
Egypt's
But-
ganks have been looking just fantastic. Palace actually turning this right
yeah.
back around.
Gotta be careful. Jeshi already has some Fury Swipes stacked on Tiny, so in case they want to go back in, that's 5 stacks already.
Really 2v1, 3v1, trying to walk around the edge.
Snowball.
Snowball.
But S4 is coming here to save, except that there's X marks the spot.
Sending him back right into the torrent. Nico on a killing spree. 7-7 now, tying it up with a 2K gold net worth lead.
Surge is really pulling this against X marks the spot, as you've seen. Tonka was a pretty good pickup, and Ursa couldn't really go for the even farm as I had hoped. I mean, it's a rough laning phase against the Tidebringer, but still. Palace coming in to secure the top tower, protected against the Bristleback. The thing about Tiny and Bristleback, the difference is Tiny can melt towers, but Bristleback
Yeah.
can't really.
I mean, in theory, there's a point where bristleback can melt, you know, humans or, you know, whatever it is, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, not now. That's,
No, certainly.
yeah, not today.
We are about 10 seconds away from gamer o'clock. Here we
Yes.
go.
And Konka
Radiant's
just
middle tower
keep
is
building
under
up his
attack.
farm, the snowball.
There we go. You're
Yeah.
right, but I mean, still, you can tell the graph's going in one direction right there. Okay, many directions
Radiant's
for
bottom
sure.
tower is
Uh,
under attack.
For the Philippines, it looks like they have found a way to kind of stabilize, at least stem the tide of EU feeding over and over again. Or have we? Never mind.
That was a well-timed ultimate. Alright, on the last moment, but will it be enough? Haste. Picked up by Zid. Kimo end up going down. Wait,
Or
beckons him?
will he?
But Cheshir's going out.
That last second mech,
Stun.
actually the Chen creep coming forward, not quite the block, he was looking at teleport out.
Chen goes down as well.
Not going to work, so, man, how do you, this is like that, I forget what it was, like, what was that iconic 90s song, How to Save a Life? This is what the Philippines need to figure that out for their support. They're just racking up the deaths right and left, and while it's not like super impactful, it will be eventually if they're just going to be low level and dying over and over again for the rest of the
But I think they got enough time though.
Dire's
Like
top
2
tower has
heroes two support heroes spent like a minute and a half having like 5 heroes, like full team of heroes, like chasing them around. You know, pull some Death Ward out and make them waste their spells and then die while Tiny's pushing a lone top. That's a lot of EXP and gold for one hero, and then Team Sweden split split EXP between 5 heroes. So that isn't actually much if you think about it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
You're
attack.
doing a good job mitigating the harsh reality that's before us.
Yes, I mean I mainly play a support hero, so I always try to look at the right side of the line.
X marks the spot on the Charlie. They're going for the dive. Big boat coming in right on time.
But Witch Doctor right here, but Legion Commander duels into Snowball, Deathward, Vacuum into the still couldn't save Charlie.
EGM gonna go down there as well. S4 just doing all that he can. Pulled right back in, but obviously
Tiny doing tiny things.
tossing him all the
Triple
way.
kill.
Mazaram coming through with an assist. Palos though, yeah, you're right. Tiny
Dire's
things
middle tower
indeed.
has
Well, I mean, I guess they're not so tiny, but haha, that's the joke everybody makes.
Yes.
Oh, Palos is actually pretty gigantic here. A triple, and it's a triple at a very well-timed moment here because they're going to be able to have a wave, a catapult wave going through, forcing out a glyph, and now being able to back off and reset without really losing anything. Oh my god, big move there by Philippines.
Does the Ursa have? No, it doesn't have Blink Dagger yet, so staying on the sideline was a bit questionable. Dragon Scale, pretty good item, but maybe Ursa has to hold it. No one else can, really. Maybe Tusk or Witch Doctor. But yeah, none of the cores aside from the Ursa really benefits from it. And there's Imp Claw, really good pickup for Nico himself. Konka can really enjoy it along with Tidebringer. So the first hit's gonna hit really hard.
Oh man. Well, look, I mean, it's not like Sweden hasn't found opportunities to, make their game plan work out, whether it's picking off supports over and over again, or oh man, another X mark in the spot here. Charlie, man, no way to get out of this one. Torrent up, he is going down. Oh, hello. I mean, I guess yes, there are higher priorities than killing off that bristleback, but still, Wall gonna come out, Vacuum pulling him back in. Death Ward actually dealing a
Good false
crazy
promise.
amount of damage. Palos knows he needs to get out of there. Nico actually gets him out.
Yeah, supports did a really good job salvaging that situation. Saving Nico was the highest priority. Legion Commander was coming up the hill, but kind of got caught in the middle of 4 heroes, so he just ended up dueling some other hero, I think. But that actually led to Bristleback not being taken down. You need to focus everything on this Bristleback to really take it out. And now Ursa is taking the Roche as Ursas usually do.
Trying to delay the escape here. Another Xbox to start. Palos is right here. Snowball trying to help out, but in the end, EGM is still in a ton of trouble. Up, down.
Well, that's
All
called
around.
a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, taking one for the team there in a little way. Nico's still going deep for this.
Team Philippines lost the crucial team fight and eventually gave away the Aegis as well. But, 2 heroes that cannot die right now. Tiny and Konka are still alive. Haven't fed off the gold yet, so...
I feel like everybody's just sacrificing themselves so that Tiny and Kunka can stay alive. And I mean, I guess in a way it works, right?
I mean, it's the same for Team Sweden. Like, everybody's playing the, Dodge Mr. President game right now.
Oh, excellent. They're doing quite well at it, I might add.
And Ursa finally picks up his very crucial core item, that is Basher. And in a way, has a way to disable the enemy, but Tiny is really farmed right now. If you see the Konka right now, Konka is going really a lot of utility build. He got the Vessel. I mean, he doesn't have an Imp-Claw for the damage, but now he's going Shadow Blade, which I will assume goes straight be the Shiver Edge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of counter to the Bristleback, and they're trying to take the outpost, which Tiny's coming in, but yeah, Tiny knows that he cannot contest against 3 heroes.
Not in time. I mean, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. He's not on that life just yet. Starting to get there. Extra avalanche damage coming through instead of the health. Okay, he'll get that talent eventually at level 30.
It's not like Tiny needs any more health. He has a lot of armor, a lot of HP, naturally. Just needs a tiny bit more damage. And Charlie encounters creeps. Chen comes in and can save Konga. No. That was smoke gank.
I mean, look, it works out, and that removes one of the biggest catch tools that Philippines have been using. And now, speaking of catch tools, oh man, no matter how fast you are, you're not running away from Chessie.
Not at all.
Bash, 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 bash.
So meanwhile, Witch Doctor pushes out the lane a bit so that they can connect this gank into the mid lane push. But I think the momentum has been lost. So other heroes go, one went to secure the outpost. Other one clears the wave bottom, and then they're gonna converge on the mid tier 2. By then, Konka will return, and Team Philippines might be able to mount the counter attack.
Yeah, counterattack. I mean, the teleport's coming in, so we'll see if they can make something appear here in the mid lane now that Konka's back online. I think that X marks the spot's been pretty huge. So as long as Nico doesn't just walk in and die again, like that last fight happened, I mean, we're hopeful. But hey, if Sweden figures out that these smoke ganks are starting to really punish a hole in Philippine strategy, just go right back at it.
Is under attack.
And there's Philosopher's Stone. Well, pretty good for, I say, Oracle. But think about it, Philosopher's Stone is a tier 2 item, and by then, you're not sure if the sports has enough inventory to actually hold it around.
Yeah.
It's a good item, though.
You're gonna find a way to store 25 active items on one hero.
Of course, you know, we're gonna next patch or next Hughes patch, we're gonna have one more slot added to the inventory. I'm sure. we'll just run with 7 inventories and like 8 backpack slots.
Yeah, 85 new active items added. Nice. Killing it, Dota. No, but for the most part, I like that there is the ability to carry more and swap it out a little bit with more versatility, because it does allow you to mix things up, especially once you do kind of run out of slots you were talking about earlier. But, yeah, let's see if Sweden can push their advantage here, at least momentarily, through this bottom tier 2. I mean, obviously, you definitely do not want to overextend. That's what we've seen over and over again. But here goes Chessie.
Comes the big bad bear.
Oh my god. Hello?
Oracle buys back immediately, but Legion Commander is probably going to go down. But that was a lot of heals. And Tiny coming in.
X marking the spot there as well. Chessie taking quite a bit of damage. Pulled back in, and he will go down.
It just pops. That's for dealing a lot of damage.
Yeah, got vacuumed into the wall. The fake one's still alive and moving.
It's like that. It's a replay of that Luna game. It's Luna's worst enemy was Luna himself. But for Tiny, it's Tiny himself again.
Yeah?
That was a convincing win. I think Team Sweden can translate this into maybe tier 3 or even a Rex.
Yeah, I mean, they're going for it.
With a Tiny, of course.
Yep. Coming through. I mean, look at Chessie, man. He is on an exploration mission. Sweden now with their first gold lead in the last 10 minutes. They're starting to come back in a big way. Can they clear this first lane of Rax? They're certainly going to get the tier 3 wisely back out, not overextending.
The most unfortunate part of this was Oracle getting taken out immediately. Although Oracle did buy back, without Oracle, you really can't stop the Surge Ursa running around. Xbox spot isn't enough to really contain it. You do want to put a Fortune Sand on it and kind of, have it held in one spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of an interesting, not counter, but usually you're looking for Nico to use that Xbox spot for a catch. But what happens if you cannot, catch people with that? Well, what do you have to fall back on? Like you said, like maybe Oracle's got a little bit of CC coming in there, like Tiny obviously kind of your main go-to, but not all that for sure. And even Palos, like stand in the wall, you're gonna be hurting your team more than you help for sure.
So Team Sweden has came up with the appropriate counters to Team Philippines lineup, especially Tiny. But next time, Team Philippines will be aware of this on the next team fight. Also, like the positioning Team Philippines had, defending the tier 2 bottom was a bit ambitious. Oracle could have been a bit further back or into the trees. So they will be, be aware of that going forward.
Yeah, and I think really at this point, both teams are pretty well aware of each other. Like, okay, here's exactly where everybody is. I think if there's any
Radiant
big
are scanning.
power spikes that are starting to come through. Well, okay, obviously that's a big one.
Abyssal Blade, really good with that Blink Strike addition.
Yeah, as well as Vanguard coming through there. So I'm actually super excited to see what it looks like when we actually just have carry on carry action. It's gonna look rough. Now, I mean, more importantly, like, can we just get supports to like actually do their job? I mean, I feel like, you know, tanking the first hit, taking one for the team is only so effective, and it seems like that's been used like mission this entire game.
Yeah,
Dyer's
the
top tower
team
is
fight,
under
the way they're fighting has been evolving progressively, like
Dyer's
through
top
the
tower
course of
has
this
fallen.
single game, from the small skirmishes and now fully formed team fights. Blink Strike right onto Legion Commander, false promise Legion Commander, and 3 people.
Oh my
rush it.
God, beautifully done there. The torrent to
Global
follow
save.
up, one after another. Wall coming through there. Beautiful vacuum right on top of it. But this time, it seems like Philippines might have what it takes to only Chen down with some low health bars there for Charlie going forward. Stun on Tiny, toss up, but it's not enough. But that's Charlie dominating, following you through the trees. EGM's gonna get revenge.
And that was a Abyssal Blade reveal, and that was really good reveal in the sense that you really don't want to use your false promise on the Legion Commander. So, I mean, you really want to reserve that spell for Tiny,
Radiant's top tower has
but
fallen.
in any case, they tried to save Legion Commander, try to salvage the fight. That was a good spell usage by Konka, but nobody actually died. So Witch Doctor was able to step back, Tusk was able to snowball everybody out into eventual, you know, wall and vacuum and Death Ward.
Radiant's
That
top
was too much
shrine
damage
has
for even
fallen.
for Tiny to handle.
And trying to take down, continuing to raise this new and now 4K
Radiant's
gold
top tower
lead
is under
for
attack.
Sweden, starting to stack it up with big reveals like the Desolate. Oh man, this is starting to get scarier and scarier. Tier 2
Radiant's
down
top tower has fallen.
up top.
Bristle back with Radiance and even the Essence Ring.
Dyer's middle
It's
tower is under attack.
quite an unstoppable force at this point, but still there's that Tiny factor. Even though Darkshire counters him a lot, the Tiny
Dyer's
factor
middle
is
tower
still
is under attack.
in play. Konkan is maybe a bit more. Konkan is either one more damage item or one more utility item. Shiver has finished up maybe. But Team Philippines are not finding the ganks that they want with Konka because Team Sweden has been grouping up, just looking for team
Yeah.
fights instead of just
Scanning.
skirmishes. Because they know they win team fights right then, but ganks are a bit on the Team Philippines favor. So cutting the wave, just clearing the creeps, and then Ursa can go rush. Dragon Code drop, but they're not really caring.
Here we go. Roche attempt on. I mean, it's noticed, not like it's a big surprise, but at the same time, what are you going to do about it as your Philippines? I mean, Nico's all the way down bottom, nowhere near. There's going to be another Aegis for Cheshi.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a good idea to fight that out, but at the same time, we've seen how the team fights were playing out for the last couple team fights. And every time there's a wall of replica up, it's really hard for Tiny to fight without much worries.
Yeah, no, he is actually very large, and it's hard to step outside that. Although beautiful vacuums, you know, credit where credit is due. This Darkseer really paying off.
Yep, I mean, it's S4 after all.
I mean, yeah, credit where credit is due for sure.
Radiant's
Continuing the
middle
push,
tower
tier
is
2
under attack.
mid, about to go. Okay, they're not going to focus it. Never mind. I mean, Palace is here. It's not like he can't do anything. It's not like Sweden are so far ahead that they can move with impunity. Overextension has kind of been a bane of theirs. A couple of misguided high ground attempts in game 1 that really made that take a long time. So let's see if the Philippines can mount a comeback here.
They're not really using the repair kit yet, but they jumped right onto Tiny. Tiny being the front line is, I guess, the most ideal. Backing back into the ice shards.
Toss them right back, try to reset.
But Team Sweden knows that if there's Tiny on the front line, they really can't go in liberally as before either.
Yeah. Gotta be careful. I mean, at this point, it's not about Philippines finding, like, I feel like an engage. I don't think if they fight straight up, it's necessarily going to go their way. And even this X mark the spot catching that's been so effective for Philippines is really starting to wear off now that Sweden has all the items they need.
So yeah, Team Sweden is just trying to find one good team fight to go high ground, and they're, you know, always like moving around in a way that they can take. If there's team fight happening, it's going to happen on the Team Philippines side.
Right.
And then it can translate right into the Rex, Mushroom, and lasted one more second.
I was going to say, that was remarkably long survival time. And actually now Chemo.
Can't lose
okay.
Oracle on top of the Chen.
Yeah, no, that would be absolutely catastrophic. Oh my goodness, this is starting to get a little bit stressful. I mean, if you're a Sweden fan, you are already starting to, you know, make the Champions of IESF t-shirts for
Yeah,
sale.
might as well get them, you know, get printed out right now. Also, as you mentioned, Sweden also is holding a good chance on the other games as well right
That's
now.
true, yeah. I think they have top 4, top 8 in both of our other titles. So it's actually very important that this DOTA roster pull it through. It's an extra $10,000, and of course the title of champion, IESF 2019. So definitely a lot on the line.
Smoke Gang
Radiant's bottom
to
shrine has
Charlie
fallen.
plus Cheese and Essence Ring might not be the best idea, but they can't really find any other targets despite being smoked.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to like accidentally, you know, walk into vision and then spontaneously combust.
I mean, that's what's pretty much happening. You see
Yeah,
Legion-
you're not
like,
wrong.
Team Sweden has been killing this Legion Commander with just looks only.
Yeah, teleport in here from Palos. Go for a toss. X marking the spot. Okay, Chessie
Chessie just
out
rolls
of
out.
there.
See that buff of that front flip in a way. Really interesting. Chessie just going to the back line straight away, but X mark.
No, I mean,
BKB and false promise use of the Chen. That's not what we want to see.
definitely not. I mean, Chessie won't be able to die for the kill, but he's got plenty more where that came from. Emo will just get completely popped out there. And even though there's a little bit coming back to the
Support
kill.
Support traded, but also both bot back. Can they save Palos? No more false promise. And Palos getting pushed back. That was easy. Yeah. What, man? I think that was a force theft misused. But yeah, in the end, Palos dies. No buyback. No tiny for 68 seconds.
Oh my god, that's almost certainly going to be a lane of racks down here. If
Lane of rack if they're lucky.
Oh yeah, I mean, the game is actually not completely out of their reach here. Sweden might be taking it home. They might be punching a ticket all the way to the IESF 2019 Grand Finals. They do take that lane of racks, and now
There's repair kit coming in, but will not be enough. Force
uh,
theft again,
Radiant's middle
but
tower is
AOS
under
survives. Wasn't deep enough.
okay,
There's another repair kit, I think. Yep, there we go.
just trying to pick a fight. Chessie diving from SRM, but not going to find him there. And actually, oh my god,
Tonka has buybacks though.
they don't
so-
even have hit points at this point, or hit bars.
Radiant's middle
Well,
tower
it's
is
like
under attack.
hit them once and they die. It's a toggle state. They're either dead or alive, and very much dead. 3 out
yeah,
of 5 dead.
Radiant structures
Glyph will
are
kind of buy a little
fortified.
bit more time. You're right, Kunkka's back for now. Doesn't have a lot of support through there. But you know X marks the spot. There's no torrent follow-up. That's how you know it's maybe starting to be time. Another lane of racks focused down. Charlie, Chessie, man, they are really carrying Sweden through this game. There it is, the
That's,
blink in. Can they find the
duel
damage they
coming
need?
in.
Double knock up, another win here. I say another, maybe the first one, but a beautiful wall just causing Palos to start hitting himself. He's actually so gigantic at this point. I'm just gonna run away.
And the fake Tiny is kind of standing around.
Yeah.
Just standing there, you shall not pass, I guess.
I mean, they looks like they passed pretty easily.
Well, they had to kill the Tiny first.
Oh, that's true. That was not very easy.
And drops telescope drops for the Team Sweden. Maybe it's useful for the Darkshire, but other than that, they really don't have any range here except for the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, well, suffice it to say, we've seen this position before. This is familiar. Game number 1 looked a lot like this. I mean, maybe not the mid-game where Philippines was actually doing quite well, but for Sweden to have a huge gold lead, to be kind of knocking at death's door here, to be moments away from advancing, I think Philippines is going to be pretty familiar with this. Is there late-game comeback potential? Is this Tiny the way?
I mean, if they hold their high ground about like 4 more times maybe, but neutral drops aren't really helping. Repair kit dropping was situationally good, but you still want better items. And now the greater fairy fire that I kind of hated the last time. It's like a symbol of like definitely losing. Like Luna had it, now Tiny has it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's a bad omen.
She's dropping in a place nobody wants to go.
So
Okay,
like,
you.
you know, like why greater fairy fire?
I mean, it's greater, right? It's better than getting just a regular fairy fire.
Yeah, but nobody buys fairy fire these days anyways.
Ha ha ha, nice. No. Okay, I was a little bit worried there. Charlie looked like he was going to go in on that.
Dying in 5 seconds.
Ashram,
oh, that
force
was
stab.
good. Force stab, but
Yeah, well, nice try.
okay, they try to make it 6 seconds. Maybe they heard me.
What were we finding out there? Like, what was the information that positioning gave us?
I think he was trying to ward around the area because they know that they're gonna Team Sweden gonna push top definitely.
Okay.
But you know, supports dying while warding. Not the first time it happened, but might be the last time it happens in this game.
Paolo's gonna do his very, very best.
Step
Back him in. Stun. Waller's punch. Paolo's starting to take critical damage. Going through for the save.
Tiny already less than half HP. BKB spent. Team Sweden just backs up.
Ooh.
Heals up. And you know, clear some lanes, come back later.
That was so dangerous.
Yeah, they can go for the rush as well. Not sure if that's the Axe rush or the Refresher rush. If it's Refresher one, you can give it to Darkshire. If it's Axe, I'd say just give it to Witch Doctor.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, for me, I'm just thinking, especially as tanky as Tiny is, almost dying there just kind of shows you the options that Sweden has. I mean, that was without the vacuum wall combo, which seemed to be so good against Tiny at this point. Just gonna back out, and here we go. First number 2. Or 3, I guess.
It's really hard to feel like more pity than anyone to the rush when there's Ursa in the game.
Doesn't even stand a chance.
The weakest unit in the game.
Completely imbalanced.
No, it was Refresher Shard, so they give it to Darkshire. 2 walls are ready.
Oh my god.
Double wall coming up.
All the way across the sky. What does it mean? Now, trying to get up to the high ground immediately.
Okay. It's Bristleback. If it was any other hero, it would have died, but it's Bristleback. He's okay.
Don't blame him. Yeah, at this point, I mean, Kyle's the raid boss, right? Keeping everyone from going high ground.
This is Team Philippines holding the door.
They definitely are. And I mean, at this point, it's all Tiny all the time. Wall comes out, ship comes in, avoided almost completely, jumping on the back line, and it's
Chemos died without. They really need the false promise of Palace right now, but he's dead without buyback. Soon, Tiny has buyback, but that's another wall. That's a really long, elongated wall. In the shape of, I guess, a chevron, I guess.
On her forehead, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Tiny's back, but for how long at this point? Doesn't even stand a chance there.
2 seconds.
Killing spree, GG's coming out, and after a long back and forth best of 3, Team Sweden will topple the undefeated Philippine squad and advance on to the grand finals of IESF 2019.
It's always a bittersweet feeling when a team goes undefeated in the group stage, but loses on the first match. I mean, we're on the semifinals, so it's not that critical, but like, you know, losing on the playoffs after going undefeated on the group stage.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was close. This is the closest series we've had, the only series that we've had. But either way, it was really fun to see how resilient Philippines was game 1 and 3. Both of the games that they lost, I mean, they held on for about as long as was humanly possible, right?
Yeah, that was our first BO3, but that was a proper completely proper
Mhm.
and really good series going up to game 3. Both teams showed really great skills and resilience. They never gave up, at any point of the game.
Yeah, it was really cool to see just two of the best teams in this tournament battle it out. And that means that Team Sweden will advance on to the grand finals, and Philippines will drop down to the third, fourth place match. And did you actually? Oh, actually, we have a slide for match results coming up right now, so that we can show you exactly what happened, not only in this semifinals match, but also in the other semifinals match. We had a 2-0 tie victory over the Finland squad.
So we saw Thailand play against Philippines, right?
Yes.
So Thailand, they were, I'd say, almost in control of the game, but one critical mistake cost them the game. So we can kind of venture a guess that they're almost as good as Team Philippines, or maybe they have something even better up their sleeves. So Team Sweden, they might have beaten Team Philippines, got their revenge from the group stages, but they're not out of the woods yet.
What an incredible day of Dota. I believe it is going to conclude at this point with that semifinals, sending, at least now we know the teams in the grand finals. It's going to be a Thai team that somehow, even though they couldn't beat the Philippine roster in the Swiss stage, they make it through Team Finland and make it into the grand finals, whereas Team Philippines wasn't able to take out Team Sweden, and now they're down in the third place match. So no justice there. Also, I mean, I guess Philippines beat Sweden the first time around, and now they lose to them next time. So, yeah, no justice in the life.
It's an interesting twist of fates.
Well, that's going to do it for our Dota coverage today. Thank you so much for watching this semifinals. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break and then come back with the conclusion of Day 2 of IESF 2019.